I don't know what's going on lately. Everybody's been super busy. It's like, maybe the start of the new year, January, just a lot of transition
How's
going on
things
right
been for
now
you with
for
the
everyone.
scammer front?
Well, as you guys, it's just been like infrequent, and infrequent at the same time. Like it'll have its lulls where it's, maybe for a week or two, I don't get contacted by anyone. And then it's like a week or two where I'm getting contacted by 4 or 5 people on Facebook, TikTok in the same week, Instagram, of course. So it's been that's when I think maybe it's slowing down a little bit. Maybe I don't have to worry about this too much anymore. Again, it starts picking up. You guys see it. I send you guys the pages, and these pages have like thousands of
Because I think what
followers.
they're
It's
doing, I mean, there's so
crazy.
much hacking going on, especially on Instagram and Facebook. And they then have,
Right.
10,000 followers. So they'll stick your face in, and it makes it look like it's an old account. It's been around a long time. But no, I mean, I was going to ask you about TikTok because it's just awful on there.
Yeah, TikTok. I'm not even on TikTok too much. Like I haven't even made a TikTok, honestly. So but I constantly get hit up from people who are on TikTok, and they're like, "Hey, is this your page?" I type my name on there now, Jamar Upshaw. It's like at least 10 fake accounts with my information or part of my information, I guess, like my bio in my Instagram or something like that. And then like all these videos from my Instagram or Facebook on
Yeah.
these TikTok pages on dating websites. But yeah, TikTok I made a page just to try to report the page, but I don't even have any content on there. I probably need to start
The
having
thing
some
is with
content on there
TikTok,
now.
it seems that you can do nothing. I mean, you can. I mean, enough Facebook, Instagram, we complain, but I think with TikTok, you can do. I don't think there's anybody there. I think they just put anybody on. Last night we did a live with Carl James, who's from England, and bless him, he's he's big on TikTok. He's got like hundreds of thousands of followers, and they're just making as many fake accounts of him as they can. And he's
Wow.
I never quite knew what an influencer is, but he is one. And
Gotcha.
it's, I mean, he's nice. He's a really nice guy. And maybe this is why, I always say that, you all get,
Yeah.
most of the ones we talk to, everybody will come afterwards, Jamar. Everybody says, "Oh, isn't he nice? Isn't he really nice?" But yeah, that's why you.
Yeah. I don't know what. I think it's just hard seeing it happen so frequently where there's so many people believing the scam that is what I think when I was talking with some of the individuals, whatever, we've been in conversations with people with different networks and everything, where they were like, it's probably best if we put all of you on our platform. It might not be the biggest platform, but it's still a huge enough platform. And they were saying that modestly. I'm like, you guys have a pretty huge platform. But just to put ourselves out there and get the name out there, but that's just for me, right? Like if I go out there and put my name on a network or a platform for everybody to see, for everyone to know, hey, this is the real Jamar. I really need to, if I see a page that looks like him, I need to make sure I'm really double checking to make sure that's him. But how many, like thousands of other people, men and women, who are getting their pages or their pictures utilized? How do we get their name out there? There's so many people believing each scam, and there's so many people getting their pictures taken as scammed. How do we mitigate that? Is there a way to even mitigate that?
We had a lady today, and she had been scammed by Logan Pictures, and Logan is one we've talked to for quite a long time. Therefore, and she was saying, well, he should put his account on private. Well, I'm not a believer in that. He has taken quite a lot of stuff, but I'm not. I don't go with the private thing. But at the same time, you can't do something because somebody's going to come along and steal your pictures and pretend to be you. It doesn't make sense in the world.
Right. Somebody said block and report is all you can do. That's honestly all I really can do. Like I just, luckily, everybody, if you get in touch with a scammer or you think you're being scammed, or if your pictures are being used and you're watching this, or you know somebody that's being scammed, please send scam haters or send them to this live. Scam haters has been really wonderful. They help out people who are being scammed and people that are like me getting my pictures used for fake profiles. So I'll send scam haters, hey, I have this profile, and they'll get it, closed and canceled pretty quickly. So appreciate you guys for that, honestly. I always like to mention that because a lot of people aren't really educated about what's going on, especially with what you guys do.
You try to tell them, but I think everybody is wrapped up in the actual scam. They wrapped up in, well, how can you do this? How can you pretend to be you? And they'll come back and they'll tell us the story. So, tend to be you. And then they'll say, well, he told about his life, he knew and told his life. It had to be him. Can you hear that bird of mine?
Yeah, the bird is just upset as we are, honestly, right now. Because we are tired of getting all these. Yeah. I'm tired of people contacting me and asking me hey, is this your page? Blah, blah, blah. Are you scamming me? And getting upset with me about it. And I try to send them your page. Like, I'm like, hey, you should go check out the scammers page. No, that's not me. Or before I can even respond. Or there's times where how they'll screen share, like there's a video on my profile. They'll screen share one of the Instagram videos, or like they'll screen share it with someone else and FaceTime a woman that they're scamming and be like, oh yeah, this is me. And women will screenshot the screen share of the scammer and send it to me like, oh, I know this was you. We were on video chat, blah, blah, blah. Don't lie to me. And I'm just like, well, that's not me talking to you. Or video, that was a video on my Instagram or
people will say to us, oh, we saw him move. It was him. It was him in the video because we saw him move. Well, that's not a video chat. A chat to me is either this or one person talks and one person answers. It is not seeing somebody move for 3 seconds. And I wouldn't be,
that's right.
If I had somebody who was telling me how wonderful I was and how much they loved me, I wouldn't be happy with the 3 second. But yeah,
exactly. You need more than that. They need more than that. So I'm thankful that people are using technology now where they like do what is the Google search?
There's a Google image
search.
I mean, we the reverse image search.
Google image search.
Google's not so good these days because they start to put, they look for something to make an advert out. But Premise, which is not free, but we've got subscriptions to Premise, and we're quite happy to do that for people. If they suspect, we can confirm.
Wow.
But what makes me laugh, and it shouldn't because it's very serious. What makes me laugh is I had a lady the other day. She's still married to Felipe, and Felipe and I did a live chat, and they played the live chat with this woman with no sound, and they said, oh, that was him talking to his mom. So that's twice now I've been somebody's mother. But what gets me is these stories are believed. I'm fine as anybody else, and these stories are believed because they've got honey and baby and I love you so much in the middle of them.
They really, people are looking for love, and it's cold. It's cold outside. If you're on the northern hemisphere, like it's cold. And people want to be snuggled up with someone and want to feel that warmth and that love. It was just Valentine's Day around the corner. People are feeling that loneliness, especially around this time of the year. So I can see why it's like a little uptick of that.
He's not with my phone, I mean, I might be old-fashioned, but I'd rather have somebody there than a phone. I mean, all this is love by text because, they like to phone. Scammers like to. Scammers at the moment are enjoying sending me lots and lots of friend requests, and they phone. I don't know why, but they've all got. You can't they don't even try to disguise their voices. So if they don't do it with me, they're not doing it with anybody else.
They don't. They sound very not American or
one of
not
them
from
said
wherever.
that he was from Texas. And I said, well, you don't sound as if you're from Texas. He said, yes.
What type of accent?
He said, I worked a few weeks in South Africa and I picked up the accent. I thought, it doesn't work like that. Really. But, you know,
like that.
I feel I'm torn because you must really want some love if you will accept the scam. Really torn. I really don't like the woman this afternoon that had been talking to the Logan Carpenter one. I can honestly say that 100% of our victims, can never fail me, 100% of our victims will say, I'm stupid. How can I be so stupid? Wish they wouldn't bring it back on themselves.
It's not anybody's fault. It's the people using our pictures and scamming women. They're the culprit. They're the ones doing something criminal, doing something malicious, and it's nobody's fault.
They trusting me.
Like, people are looking for love. You can't, like, sometimes it works. You know, sometimes, like, that's the age that we're in right now, where we're in the dating apps and where people do fall in love and meet each other up on social media platforms. So that's becoming a norm. Even more, maybe that's why it's so much more prevalent. We thought it was a joke maybe a decade ago, like, well, you really fall in love with someone over social media. But now that's almost, before it was a joke. Now it's kind of like the primary way people, especially during COVID, it was the primary way people connected with each other. And so now I feel like these scammers or these networker scammers are just catapulting off that trend of computer love. You know, from Zap and Roger, you know, for those who know Zap and Roger, computer love, that was made, what, in the 90s? Now it's a real thing. Computer love is a real thing. This is how majority of us, especially after COVID, or a lot of us at least, connect with other people romantically now. And so this scammer stuff is just, you know, a consequence of that.
And you know, the thing is that I don't like victims to hate themselves. You know, I think that's
right.
They blame everybody else except the person that's actually done the scam. Let's put it where it is. You don't blame you. Richard was in there somewhere. You blame Richard. You blame the person who's done it. And you know, I understand that's quite. They've been scammed. So even when we tell them that it's a scam, they, oh look.
Yeah. That's my sister. Hey, what's up, sis? Showing love. I see you, girl.
When the only person that tells the handsome man is his sister. Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's the sister brotherly love. You know, if I could count on anyone to show me love, it's my sis. We definitely have a great relationship as bros.
When
that's my dog.
Look at you.
That's my best friend for real.
You absolutely as close as anything. Do you tell her she's beautiful? Do you tell her she's beautiful?
My sister?
Oh, good, because it means you tell.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not like a romantic thing all the time. Like, your daughter could be beautiful, your mother could be beautiful, your sister. You know, so a lot of people kind of get, not necessarily you, of course, but like other people get kind of weird about that. But it's just like, you know, we're not calling each other sexy, but like, people are beautiful, people are gorgeous.
I have to say, I've seen her. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, I think I probably threw a waist to something like that. You know, beautiful. Anyway, I don't.
Yeah, that's my dog. Yeah, shout out to the sis,
you know,
Rosetta.
It's just, we're talking about people, let's be fair. We're talking about people doing this who are less than beautiful. If they were, they could use themselves. But they don't. They use somebody else. And once we say to somebody, I mean, it's the same with you, Jamar. If you say to somebody, look, you haven't been talking to me. You've been talking to a scammer. You have not been talking to thing. And even if we can get in the victim's head that they have not been talking to you, they still have your face in their head because they can't. Yeah,
they will still try.
Hello.
They'll say, okay, well, that's not the real you. That wasn't the real you. I get it now. But what about maybe you and I should just see where this goes? And I'm like, no, like, I don't want to see where this goes. I don't know you. Like, I'm not interested in talking to you. And I'm not saying that. I kind of try to ignore it and be like, hey, no thanks. Keep it very simple. Like, no, thank you. Blah, blah, blah. Sorry it happened to you. And some women are very, not most, but I would give it a good 25%, maybe a third of women are like, we should still see where this goes. Like, haha, you know, kind of liking every single one of my pictures, liking all my stories, trying to comment on every single or respond to every single story I have. It gets a little stalkerish, not a little. It gets stalkerish. So, like where I don't want to post where I'm at because if I have posted where I'm at, somebody will be like, oh, I love that area, I love that place, and I'm like. Let me stop
could be like poor
James
in California, who's gay, and they keep offering to turn him from being gay. They keep saying to him, you know,
wow,
"Come on, meet me," and you know, you never know what time that'll make you not gay.
He's getting really harassed. Women are trying to tell him, like, let me see, I'll turn you not gay, I'll turn you to a heterosexual man.
You know, we money, but it's not in another. But yeah, and I wish I knew what we could do, because we can't. But you know, as I say, we've got the romance victim on that side, we've got the photo victim on that side, and the bit in the middle is just like a little smoky shadow. Because and so they've got your face, or they've got James's face, or Richard's face, or poor Pierre. They turn up at his door. And you know, I mean, that really freaked him out, which you could imagine it would. He doesn't really have his, well, he didn't think he had his address anywhere, but. And you know, the thing is, Jamar, as well, that people will do an awful lot of research after the scam.
Yeah. Should have did that before the scam. Women contact me like, hey, you know, there's this story. Is this you? Like, this has to do with banking records. I'm like, hey, no, like, I'm sorry that happened to you. Report the page and block it, and I'll do the same, and then I'll send it to you all. And they're like, well, it's more than that. No need to tell me. And I say, no need to tell me a story. Like, I'm sorry that happened to you. No. It has to do with banking. You don't care that such and such. Like, I'm going to tell my friends and blah blah blah. Are you really doing the scam? And it's like. You should have had that same energy before you send your banking account information, before you send all these thousands of dollars to someone you don't know, and then getting upset about it after the fact. There needed to be some due diligence that happened before you project that situation on me. That
I have a lady
multiple times a week
on Facebook, and I'm trying to sort out, but she sent money to 14 different bank accounts. Now, you know, look. She really, I mean, she knows where she's gone wrong now. But you know, the time that you're doing it, 14 different bank accounts, surely something up here at some point must think that's a bit strange, because she was sending money for a government thing, and it was like going to names, you know, and to names and individual bank accounts. I mean, some were Barclays Bank in the country. And
people are asking, where are these scammers from?
I mean, most are from Nigeria. It is the scam capital of the world, simply because they can. And I would love to get into the Nigerian government and find out what they do with all the money, because you know, the Nigerian people must be spending an awful lot of money that they don't have. And they do. It is just a fact. Ghana do it. Ghana do it as well. Nigeria does it mainly. Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire like to sell puppies. It is a corrupt corner of the world, and there's nothing to put that right. So they've found a nation in the world, they've got the catchment of the whole world, and they look for people like Jamar and other, I mean, they do like the military, who you happen to have some photos and some videos, and they can take them all off, nice little collection, and pretend to be you.
And for months and sometimes years before anybody really finds out or catches them. And how many women have they scammed along the way? Because they're contacting multiple women a day, whoever they can get their hands on. And even if you get 1 out of 10, 1 out of 50, you get somebody to send you $100 or whatever. Yeah. Somebody said they must buy designer clothes with the money.
But can I be awful? Really, I'll be really awful. They haven't
give me your truth, Ruth.
Very good sense. They like bright green, and we've got a bit of a joke about this because they do like bright green, and they do like very, very expensive clothes, and they don't look good. They really, you buy them about 4 sizes too big. I don't know whether they think they're going to grow into them, but yeah, they don't look good. So really, they could do with spending some money on a bit of dress sense, you know. But
yeah, people say they also buy new cars.
There's one scammer who likes turquoise. So every item of clothing he's got is turquoise, but he has 3 turquoise cars.
Somebody said bright green, yellow, and orange. You said
there is
turquoise,
a certain
all bright colors.
A Bottega something handbag that is $3,000. If you're seen with one of those, you've made it. You're a big good Yahoo boy if you've got a Bottega handbag.
Yes. Oh, that's the group name.
Nigerian scammers are Yahoo boys. Ghana scammers are Sakawa boys. They like to have their own. A few years ago, Nigerians decided that Yahoo boys, you know, didn't sound tough enough, but what they were doing is still called Yahoo, and then they just started to call themselves GEE. But you know, yes, Lord, there's Africans do like bright clothes, and some of them are really, really nice when they are.
I like bright colors too. I like really bright colors too, but I think it's just kind of being in that place. I think being impoverished is like you think you want like material things because maybe you don't have that well of material things, and then when you come upon a substantial amount of money in a short period of time with not that much effort or, you know, sustainability, you tend to, you know, compensate for that material stuff that you didn't have and try to showcase it, like, because it's like a status symbol that I have this stuff, you know what I mean? And it really just
look around,
unfortunate.
They say environment, they don't want to go back to their environment, they've been there, and that's why they're going, because they want, I mean, okay, I don't like looking at them because I know that every single dollar that's gone into buying a Bottega handbag stolen, and you know, we get an awful lot of very, very and men, of course, but it's the whole cruelty, Jamar. I mean, the thing is, let's go back to them using, you know, yourself. They don't care about your feelings. I mean, you do this as a human. You are a little something that they put on the end of a fishing line, basically.
Bait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They cast you out.
Fishing bait.
People and bring them in. We had we've got a lady that we're helping at the moment, and it'd been going on for a year. She'd lost quite a considerable amount of money. Got to the fed up with it, so she demanded a video call after a year. But she demanded. Do you know what they did to Jamar? He came on the video and he laughed at her. He just laughed.
Wow.
At how stupid.
What did she do? Like, what happened after that?
Wanted to take lots of tablets, which was very worrying. So we still we still have her. But it can get to people like that because they've invested a year of their life. They've invested a lot of their money. And they think that, you know, the ladies that contact you are thinking they're helping you. You know, that we know that you'd never ask anybody for money, but it's put to them in a way that if they didn't help, they're not very nice people and they don't really love you. So if they do, you're going to send this money. So everything's done out of the goodness of their heart on this. And on this side, they're just laughing and drinking the brandy and the cough medicine, and which is a thing. And, you know, smoking the spliffs and being lots of other people. And that's the whole thing. We need a big shift. Have Good Morning America been on to you?
Yeah, we talked. I talked with Good Morning America recently, and we've been planning on. At first, I thought they were going to have me like do a video call or anything like that, but now they're like, "Hey, we want to fly you up here," but they're still working that out. So I don't know. I'm not going to say too much more. You know,
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see.
Zoom call, you get flown out.
I mean, well, you are. Where are you? You're like in England, right?
Technical hoo-ha. There's
You're right. They could take it on the flight up there. I don't know. It's nothing. I haven't got too much of an update, so I've just been kind of, you know, doing my due diligence, you know, carrying on my life and everything like that. But it was, I did speak with Good Morning America, and they were interested. So if you guys are watching Good Morning America, we're still working. We're still trying to get these scammers out of here. We're trying to spread that word, spread the message, because that's the best thing I think we can do is spreading this message of like who we are, what we do, and how we're just trying to help, because this isn't going to stop unless the word gets out. Until more people understand what's going on, and this is going to keep happening. I like
it being on Good Morning America because they'll spread across everybody watches Good Morning America, and so not like, I mean, I've done Wisconsin, I've done something in Boston, but that's fine. But you know, a few hundred people see it, and it's forgotten. Been on the local news and it's forgotten. But what I like about Good Morning America is the fact they're influential and they can get to so many people. And I'm just quite excited about you being on there now.
Oh, you know, I'm gonna boost you up if I do go on there. You know, definitely Scam Haters. If you guys don't know who Scam Hater is, everybody that's watching this, Scam Haters United is a page that ousts and exposes these scammers. They're the people, when I get a fake profile or somebody gets sent that's using my likeness, I send them to Scam Haters United, and they get this page eradicated, deleted, whatever, canceled, whatever you want to call it, immediately within maybe no more than 2 days. I think it hasn't been more than 2 days before I see the page.
It's too much, sometimes 2 minutes. But if our system doesn't work, I am incredibly lucky because a few years ago we were offered a contact at Facebook. Now we have a system where we've got a form. My hair's annoying me. We've got a form, and we can put it into the form. And from my computer here, and Joe's got the same that you got to on Instagram and everybody, it goes to Facebook systems. Now we talk. It doesn't take them all, but quite a lot. Oh, Barry Bull has been on here before as well. Barry should be on here. Yeah, he's been on here before. Now, I'm incredibly lucky, or we as a group are incredibly lucky to have actually got that. I don't know anybody else who has that, you know. So I got jealous. We try to just to do all the right things that when we input, because I never ever want to lose this, because it's a compliment that we've got it. But it's very, very good because it makes you feel as if you can do something. And is that helpless, Jamar? Really, aren't they? Yeah, Mel says 50% go down. Right. I mean, we do think about the effect on the cameras at the other end. we quite.
Yeah. You talking about? I think you remember telling me that how they affect families and how they're, that story still always rings in my mind. Which you told me where this woman like had her family. This scammer was supposed to get off on a boat for the military or whatever it was, and she had this surprise welcome party for this person that she fell in love with online. Family knew, kids knew, everybody had the welcome party ready. And when she was waiting at the pier or wherever the landing point was, nobody showed up, and she had just been investing so much money into this person, this individual, and had nothing to show for it. And then like it's not just her affected, it's her family, because she's invested all this energy and communication and information that is all false, all falsified, and falling in love, and all that energy and emotional energy. Like, where does that go now where you've invested it, and now it just drops?
It's cruelty, because she didn't want to go home because she had to walk in the house alone and explain. She was explaining, she thought everybody was going to laugh at her, and and of course it didn't happen like that. But as I said, Jamar, it's cruelty. And as I say again, that when they know that it's a scam, and it's worse when they've been to collect them and there's nobody there, and the whole family knows, and the person's been part of that family for a few months, because they're going to come in and marry their loved one. So the whole narrative's being built around it. But again, when you tell them it's fake, and when we've got to prove that it's fake, they still have the person in the picture in their head.
Yep. They still
Yes.
want or pursue a relationship with me. When they see my image, they're like,
yes.
That's the person I connected with.
And they can't
no matter what.
get that. They can't get that out of them, because they've got nothing to put in its place. Because scammers are such cowards that, sort of in a smelly bedroom. And that's literal. They gather in a hotel room. There's a dozen of them. They like to video call me. I won't go on a video call with them. So they see my window, which is over here. But they always have the T-shirt off. It's not a pretty sight. But that is what's behind it, Jamar. If I'm going to put you next to what usually video chats me, it's not the same. And they've just found a niche in the market to make a lot, and it's lots of money. It's not just the days.
She said the worst pain is everyone knows, and you are in everyone's eyes a damn fool. That hurts. You are the town clown. Yeah, I could definitely see why people would think that way, even if it was true or not. Just having that, being in that place of that type of vulnerability, where that's a possibility now of being embarrassed or being like hurt in terms of like, wow, I told all my friends and family about this person I'm in love with, and I sent them and I helped them, and maybe I didn't even want to tell them how much money I really gave, because I gave my whole savings to this person, and now I have nothing to show for it. I gave this person $50,000. Even one woman has helped to mule over $1 million being scammed recently, and now she's going to jail because of it, because she didn't pay taxes on it or whatever. Like, this stuff has different implications. This is just not somebody being hurt. These are people really,
and the scammer's still running about this little hotel room with his medicine.
Yep. Use the picture that I just scammed you with $1 million for. Use it with somebody else in some other community.
And the thing is that I still maintain, and I'm not just saying this, nobody is the town clown. Nobody is laughing. Nobody, because, well, let's face it, everybody's done something wrong, so they can't really say anything about anybody else. But I think more people understand than gives them credit for. They don't want to tell anybody, because they've, in their head, the victim thinks they're going to be the town clown. And when you've got family They loved you at one time. They grew up with you. You probably have friends that grew up with you all your life, and they still love you because you've made a mistake. They're more likely to want to give you a hug and kill who scammed you than actually turn away from you. So give them a chance.
That's real.
Because it's they don't understand. Give them time. Send them to me, and I do that.
That's right. You do so. What are you saying is like families. So if I'm a person getting scammed and my families were having maybe a response I wouldn't like, you think it's best if I should send them to you? Hey, send them to Scam Haters United so you can get a better understanding of what maybe I probably can't explain to you properly because I'm still in a place of, hurt, pain, heartbreak, rationale. Send them over here. Send them to Scam Haters United is what you're saying?
If you're the victim and you've been through it all, there's all the passion of the scam, there's all the emotion of the scam, there's hurt, there's all the embarrassment, there's everything, and everything's mixed up. And really, can you untangle that to explain to somebody? And I think because we know both sides, that we know how a person is tangled up in a scam. We know what they do to get tangled up in the scam.
Yeah.
And we know that it's not the victim's fault. Yes, okay, they should have thought. Okay, yeah, well, you could say that about a lot of things. But we do to stop the victim thinking. So it's not as if you've got a victim and the scammer comes along and says, hello, pretty. And the victim says, oh, hello, how much money do you want? I mean, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah. It's a whole real thing, like over time, over weeks, days, months. That's what I'm saying. Some of these people have been like, I would never get scammed, and you've been talking online with somebody for over a year. And they're like, well, nobody would do this for a whole year. This person must be real. We've had they've told me stories about their life, and I know blah, blah, blah. Like, there's some stuff where I have like a nephew or my kids, my goddaughter, my godson, and I have a picture with them like maybe from years ago, right, when they were babies, and people will post those pictures up on the fake profile like, this is my son or this is my daughter. I have no kids. I have no son. I have no daughter. I don't have any kids. So if you see any profile with me on there with a kid, that's not me.
They not only that, these are poor motherless kids. And you've been looking for a nice mother to help raise them, which I think is a little bit. It's a little degree of cruelty in itself.
I think Lori asked a good question. What can be done aside from reporting and dismantling these accounts? Hire a private investigator? I guess I wonder. I think big picture, right? I think if there's an actual conglomerate, like actual group of people called the Yahoo Boys, or what was the other group called?
People, if they do this, they are called Yahoo Boys, but they are in Nigeria. Now, it is always worth reporting because you do have a huge Nigerian community in Texas. Or they all say they come from Texas. You know the amount of military and oil rig that come from Texas. And also, if you sent money to, Sheila Bentley in the money mule, and for her own good, report it. So because you never know. We had one lady who lost, I don't know, $20,000 or something. Now, after a while, she did report it, and after a while, there was a big investigation, and the people were extradited from Nigeria and everything, and there was 10 Nigerians arrested for wrong fraud. And because one of them, who was an idiot, lovely idiot, got the money sent to his own bank account with his own name on. And what had happened is people were reporting it, but you would get 10 or 11 people reporting the same bank account. So no, they're not going to do anything about 20 grand, sadly. But when they get so many, and it turns out to be 10 people over where you are, extradited people from Nigeria, and it's millions that they actually found out. So always report it, because you might not get anything about yours, but you might just put some information with.
What about for the FBI? Would we be able to contact the FBI like that? I know I haven't really gone through it. I probably should now. At this point, it's been about a couple of years. I never thought I would need to contact the FBI about people using my profile, but like, I can see when people have like 100,000 followers or something like that. It's kind of easier to be like, hey, this person that's whatever, have 100,000 followers. This person has like, 5'3". You're kind of like, okay, this is probably the real person with 100,000 followers. But I have less than 4,000 followers. Like I think more around 3,000. Where if somebody else has like 1,500 followers or 2,000 followers from a fake profile, it's kind of like hard to really figure out like which profile is real or fake, as opposed to people with other profiles. So I think the FBI, is another way, and not saying we shouldn't report, right? We should always report, say all this stuff, send them scam haters, but what's the next step? Because it seems like maybe the FBI can go to Yahoo Boys or investigate that. Like maybe that's not their jurisdiction. I don't
We've
know.
got the serious crime office in the country, and you've got the FBI. They have no jurisdiction in Nigeria. But, people will say to us, why don't you report it to the EFCC? Don't get me going on them. And that's their cybercrime unit in Nigeria. Now, they will report half a dozen a year, but they don't go to prison. They get sentenced to 2 years in prison or a $200 fine. And it's very underfunded and overworked. But there is nothing. I mean, this is a crime. People say to us, do you report it to so-and-so? I've got names and addresses, and I could send them to the door in Nigeria, and it won't do any good. Nothing would. The only way, well, I'm very fond of saying when the money stops, the scams stop. But that is the only way that it's going to stop. Because justice-wise, it's not going to. Not ever.
You're right. I think, and Marty May, the photos seem to always be added on the same day. I do look for that. With profiles, and even because some other fake profiles from other people will try to follow me. And sometimes if I'm like, it's a little name or somebody, like a profile picture I already recognize of someone, I'm like, hey, I already follow them, or they follow me. Like, what is this? And I'll go on there, and like all the pictures will be added from like February 4th, 2023, when it's like, I've seen that picture months and years ago. I know they just didn't post it all on the same day. So that is a good telltale.
All in Nigeria.
Another
around the world. Yes, they are, but most of them are Nigerian. I mean, we've got a little, we share lots of things, and all roads lead back to there, because there's a lot of them in the US. I know of a pocket of them in Italy, who I think they're illegals and they scam. There's illegals in Turkey, they scam, because they've got I know, very, very stupid. They've got the expertise on this. They've got everything. You go on Telegram, they've got the tutor groups. So you've got the groups on there telling them how to do better fake video calls, telling them how to make fake websites, selling the fake websites and things like that. So there's a huge industry. It's not just a dozen in a room. There's an absolutely huge industry behind this. And you go on Facebook and look up Yahoo Boys Update. That's the bit I love to hate. You look up Yahoo Boys Update on Facebook. And then, have you got bad blood before you go on there, you will have afterwards. Because it's open. It's all open. they're not hiding.
That's unfortunate. I mean, because what do we do? Like we said, like the FBI doesn't have jurisdiction here. I think, I think the ones who are prevalent are, from the West African place, or I think it seems to be like place. But, the scammers, I also like to mention this, not all the scammers are in Nigeria. There's scammers everywhere around the world. So I definitely want to make that clear because I know somebody did ask that
I
in the
also say
comments.
something that people accuse me of regularly. I don't say all scammers are all Nigerians are scammers.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
and you don't say all scammers are from Nigeria, but there is a trend that a lot of scammers have been from that area. When women have contacted me personally, when they do show me the person that is scamming them, is usually someone with like African descent or like very strong
simply because
accent.
we've got a problem in England, in the United Kingdom, with those drugs gangs are mainly Albanian. It is just because they've got the corner of the drugs market. West Africa have the corner in the fraud market. It's just what happens. And they've been doing it for so long. Look at the Nigerian prince. They invented fraud in West Africa.
I don't know if they invented fraud per se, but they definitely yes. I definitely think they were one of the forerunners in terms of how to scam people out of money, on the internet via romance, blah, blah, blah. Because I think, stuff like this happening with prisons and, pen pals, excuse me, putting money on books and everything like that. But you're right. The African prince, everybody kind of knows that scam where, I mean, they still hold on to that same ideology, that same practice to this day. It's like just another form of piracy. It's like romance piracy, where like I make you fall in love with me and I act like I love you and we share these connections and these stories, and I just take your money, or I take your time, or I take your freedom, essentially, where someone's going to jail now by being a mule for the scammers for over $1 million. I can't even get that. Like, that's crazy, opening up accounts for what, 50,000, 30,000, whatever, all equaling out to over $1 million. That's crazy.
I saw this bank statement, $500,000. There's a lady Jamar, there's a lady in a prison in Indonesia because she went to meet her man and he wasn't where she went to meet him. And she met some people there and they said, well, this is a bag with all these things in. Can you take it back to your home for you and he'll meet you back at your home? So she did. And it was full of cocaine. And she's she's probably never going to come out, in a jail over there in Indonesia and Malaysia. And I can never remember which one it is, but it's one of those. They used a guy called Stephen Murphy, who's been used forever, and he's English. But that's a romance scam.
Somebody said, okay, let him cook. I see you. Thank you. Let me cook. Somebody said people send compromising photos, and I didn't even think about that too. Wow, that's like, I like all the layers to it, because people sending compromising photos are getting blackmailed. Like, yeah, you fall in love, and people sext and everything like that. We all sext, flirt, send pictures here and there. At least a good amount of people do. And you send that to your loved one or to your lover or your baby, and they're like, yeah, if you don't do this, I'm going to send this to all your family. Like, people with prominent jobs that work in the school industry or work in a very sensitive industry like that, or a vigilant industry, where it could ruin their career, you're probably going to send some money.
It's like a double heartache, because they received the person that they were talking to. So when they had a sexy date night, yeah, they did send things. And yeah, they knew later on that they won, but that's too late. And
Too late.
Can I just make a bit of comedy here? Because
Come on.
the camera had some naked pictures, and I laughed. I said, you'd never recover. And you know, they put my hair on some naked pictures, and it.
They put your head on some naked pictures.
She was beautiful. I mean, I'm very proud. To be honest, I them all around and everybody.
You know. Wow, that's crazy. That's I have no comments to that, honestly. But I'm sure you look great. I mean, you look great now, but I'm sure back in the day you were definitely.
No, I'm my grandmother now. It's awful. But yeah, but the thing is, Jamar, it's cruel. It's cruel on you, and it's cruel on the victims. And we've got to try and make an impact in this crime because of the cruelty.
Yeah, it's been a little crazy. It's been a little ride, honestly, constantly having these fake profiles, use my photos, women contacting me, getting upset with me, contacting my family, harassing me. Like every time I comment anything I do or post, it's like I have multiple stalkers all the time now because of people falling in love with fake pages with using my likeness or my information. And what do? Do I block them? They make new pages, or like it's just like, what do you do? What do you do? I think going on Good Morning America. Before we get off too, I know we were going multiple ways. What was Good Morning America talking with you about? I know they talked with me about potentially coming up there. What about for you guys? Are they thinking about having an interview with you guys? I think they featured you before, right?
On like a video call, and a couple of video calls actually. And then what I'm going to do, there is a guy that is on Instagram called TR Prescott, and he's an older man, he's a model, and they use him a lot. And what they were talking about doing was, and we follow him and he follows us. What they were thinking of doing was having him and me in an interview about him being used on a romance scam. They didn't mention me out there. No, and I thought that was.
Did they follow up with that, or did they do that at all?
I mean, and then every now and again, when I think I'm not going to hear from them again, I hear from them. So I still think it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I know they're super busy down there. They're trying to organize different programs, and I know how this process takes. It takes a while. Sometimes it takes days. Sometimes it takes weeks or months. But Good Morning America having me on there. They might have me on the same video with you guys, or they were talking about having me on there with another guy. I think that same guy you were talking about, and having us actually there in person talking about what is going on with these scams, how we're affected, what our thoughts about it, what's our perspective, and talking about the other side, because everybody's part in the story.
It is, and I think it would be excellent to have you as people, not just as a video call. I think it would work.
Right. I want you to come up there.
We're going
to see if we can get you up
across
there.
The world.
We need that accent, like that accent. We need more of that in America, honestly, because that would. I'd watch that one.
Yes, my friend. So no, I shall say thank you again so much.
Exactly.
And we will do it again, and I hope it works out with Good Morning America. But we just have to keep going as we are, and if we get publicity anywhere we can, we will keep trying it, because I firmly believe that this awful crime will only stop with awareness. I want to get to the point where people will get a friend or a follower who look at it and think, no, it's one of those scammers, and just get rid of it.
That's the goal, honestly. And we'll get there by exposing these scammers and putting this message out there. The more we do that, the better off we're all going to be, where we're going to find that real love, authentic, genuine love, because that's the goal. We want everybody to be happy. We want everybody to be safe. We want everyone to be protected. Those are the goals we want. That's what Scam Haters United has definitely been a spearhead for and a figurehead for those people that have been scammed and taken advantage of. So definitely shout out to you guys for continuing to do what you do, because you have helped me get a lot of pages deleted that have been using me, and I'm sure a lot of women have been coming to you and seeing you guys as a lighthouse, honestly, in the dark where they're alone and hurt and heartbroken. So I'm sure I say it more for me than to for other people as
because
well, that, you know,
we don't
allow them to
judge,
say thank
and that's
you.
the important. Because somebody, you know, down there was saying about how she felt like the town clown. No, of course you're not. And I think it's important that, you know, we will treat you just exactly as you are, and that's help. We don't judge anybody, and I never ever think, you know, somebody's stupid for being a victim. They did something to you. You didn't do it to yourself, and don't forget. So thank you very, very much, Jamar, and we will see you again. And let me know if I come back to you and arrange anything.
All
Okay,
right, we'll
bye.
convene soon. We'll talk soon.